Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome to another episode of Sam's Trains Live, if you want to call them episodes I suppose. So welcome to everyone, it is lovely to see you all here today. I'm really looking forward to this. As you know, I love doing streams. I've got loads and loads to show you today, loads of new stuff to talk about, but first of all I thought I would check in with some of you guys and see how you're all doing, give you some shout outs today because yeah, the past few streams have been so manic that there's not been an awful lot of time for that and it's left me feeling quite bad about it. So if you want a shout out, keep trying in the chat and I will do my best to get to you. How's the sync today? Are we in sync? Is the well, might as well give it a listen, hadn't I? Hey, we are. What a shock. Yeah, that was so frustrating because, you know, I do a test, right? Before every single stream I test and make sure I do like an actual test stream that I watch on my iPad and make sure that it's in sync. And last week, still, as soon as I went live publicly, it was out of sync. It's just, yeah, there's like some fateful demon in this room that haunts it, I think. But no, today he's obviously gone on holiday or something because, yeah, there's no problem. So, oh my word, did I enable slow mode or have things just gone crazy? Rafik90 says, hi Sam, give me a shout out. Grass1843 says, hello, hope you're all doing well. Sam, sorry, says Edward Fail. Well, I don't know what you're sorry for, but I accept your apologies, I certainly do. Can I have a shout out, Sam, says Kenneth Davis. Yes, you can, there you are. All okay in Kent, says Hornby Modeler. Good, glad to hear everyth's all right in Kent. Rob Arnold says hello. Hello from Slovenia, says Gorzard Carries. I think I said that right. Fingers crossed I did. How long until, says Tom Lambert. How long until what? That is the question. Hello for California, says TTG Skillet Toast. Well, hello to you too. Great to hear from California. Hope the weather's all right in California. I've been panicking about this stream all week because we've had such a hot week in the UK. In fact, we've seen over 35 degrees, I believe, this week. Celsius, that is. Which is, I think it broke records. I think it did, but obviously I don't have aircon in this loft, as you might know. And on Wednesday and Thursday, it was sort of deadly up here, genuinely deadly. And I thought, man, how am I going to be running around doing a stream on Sunday? So I was panicking very slightly. However, today I woke up, rain, cold, almost cold, in fact, for July. It was absolutely fine. So yeah, it's nice up here. It's nice. It's just the way it is in the winter when I've got the heater on. It's nice. How many people are actually here, says Tom May. I don't know, my iPad's decided not to update the counter anymore, so it's still on 90 something. Yep, hello to you all anyway. Yep, it's definitely too hot. It has been, Harry. It's better today, luckily, but apparently, well, they say that there's going to be more heat coming. Charlie R says, hey Sam. Oh, I love that bear photo. I remember seeing that before. That's very funny. I like that. Hello from Planet Earth, says Brendan McStevens. Well, nice to hear from someone from Earth. I often wonder whether there are any of them watching, but I guess there are. There's fires, says Mudkip. Is that in California? Yeah, that is a problem, isn't it? Well, luckily we've not had any fires over here, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, given how just crazily hot it's been. Phantom says, hello, Sam. Oh, Dancing Turtle 96, I just spotted that. He says, hi, Sam, could you run Duck and Percy as a double header? Oh, there you go. You got a pop-up. With a train of mixed freight and Backman Toad at the back. Well, certainly I can, and thank you so much for the support. That's very, very kind of you. And we'll talk all about that in just a second. So, here's a quick heads up then on what's going to be coming up today. So, I'm going to be running a lot of trains. That is my promise. I'm making a lot of time for running trains today, so if you like that, and of course you like that, we all like that, stick around, that should be fun. Let's see, we've got some more Wish.com items. Basically, if you don't know already, there's a site called Wish.com that sells very cheap Chinese stuff, and a lot of it is super cheap, and I buy it as a bit of a joke, really, just to see how bad it is when it comes. And I have had a few deliveries since the last stream, so I will be showing you those. I've got some photos to show you that you guys have sent in. I'm also going to be looking at Instagram, so tag me, Sam'sTrains, hashtag Sam'sTrains on Instagram, and I'll be taking a look at your photos on there. I've got letters to open. Lots of requests. I'm going to make a lot of time for requests today, and a brand new controller I'm going to be trying out. I've finally invested in a new controller. I only got it yesterday and it's not run any trains yet. Well, I've tested it, it sort of switches on and it works. But yeah, I finally moved away from the Hornby HM2000 controllers, which was scary because that has been my bread and butter for about 5 or 6, 7 years, and finally I'm moving away from that, so you'll see what controller that is in just a second. All right. Oh, who was that? Edward Fail. Oh yes, I did give you a shout out, I hoped I had. William Town, thank you very, very much. I've just spotted that before I put the iPad down. Could you please run the Austerity War Department with one BR coach, a siphon wagon and a Great Western coach with a rake of wagons? Now you have to explain that one, William. Thank you very, very much for the support, and I will certainly do that. But you'll have to explain, is that just a whim or is there a particular reason why you want to see that? That always interests me, that does. But thank you for the request, and I will definitely get to that. Alright, so I want to say a massive thank you to last week's Super Chatters. I got loads of donations last week. It was pretty crazy. In fact, the best ever. It was quite almost emotional towards the end when I looked down the list and saw how many there were. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Obviously, all of that goes straight back into the channel to fund reviews and equipment and everything that is involved in running a channel. So I'll say this every time, but truly you enable me to do what I love to do for a living. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, let's see if we can beat it this week. However, I'm going to try and, I say try because there's a paragraph here of everyone that donated last week, but I want to get to them all. So fingers crossed that my brain doesn't scramble on this. Hey, we've got some more egg puns. Let's try and read them out then. So we have, and I'm sorry if there's some duplicates in here. I tried to get everybody once, but some people gave more than one, so I might have got some people in twice. No favouritism intended, it's just the way it turned out. So we have Bearded Frodo, Lee Kerwin, AZ Rail, Jack Clark, William Town, Jason Biggs, Eon Gunson, Deltic 9900, Rob Arnold, Neil Golding, Matt Avell, Activity Palace, Shining Time 4, Dancing Turtle 96, Lampard 2013, Gary Johnson, Duke of Rawsome, Connolly 500, The Fox, The Great Western Rail Fan, Cooper Green, The Bowmaker Fox, The Texas Train Master, Charles Curtis, Spartan A054, Moose 28 Railway Videography, Martin Earnshaw, Gareth Waite, Colin Wykes, Me Un, The Ugly Duckman, Class 37 Thrash, Jacob Wilson, Mute, Ace Ingleweiler, Lakota Theroff, Rasputin Games, Patrick Ling, Joe the Supergo Gamer, and Uni Kit Kat. Man, that was a marathon and a half, wasn't it? So a huge thank you to all of you folks. I'll just have a little drink. And William Town again, thank you very, very much. I had, Metro Exodus, really? I've not played that game because of all the nonsense around exclusivity and things, but oh cool, that's very awesome. I didn't realise it was in that. So anyway, a huge thank you to everyone. You are, of course, all entered for the Drummond 700 class competition. And everybody that super chats again today will be entered again, so you can have, well, at least one entry per week. There's only 2 more opportunities to get entered for this week, and then the final stream. And Paul S, thank you very, wow. Paul S, thank you so much. He says, hi Sam, missed the first 3 streams. Can you double head an ROD with a G2A on a mixed freight? Keep up your hard work. Paul, that is insane. Thank you so much for that. That is unbelievable. Thank you very much. Yes, I will certainly do that, and I truly do appreciate your support. So you two are entered in for the Drummond 700 class. And yeah, as I say, this is going to be given away on the next stream, so time is running out to get in on this. At the moment, it's anybody's guess where this might end up, because obviously, yes, there have been a lot of entries from the UK, but genuinely, there have been people enter from all over the world, all sorts of different countries, and of course, I will post this anywhere in the world, so who knows where this will end up, but it might well be the first Drummond 700 class to end up in, I don't know, the Czech Republic, I don't know. Who knows where it will go, but it will be interesting to find out, and I will be doing the draw next time. So good luck to everyone who's already entered, and as I say, anyone that does super chat today will also be entered for it. Oh, and I haven't had its little head poke out like I always do. There we go, just to prove that it's in there, and it is brand new, of course, never been out of the box, and yeah, it's been sat right here actually. It stays there all the time whether or not I'm streaming, so it's going to be quite glad, I think, to get away from me, and yeah. It sits there all the time watching me film and go about my business, so yes, not long to go. Okay, so as I say, yeah, all the super chats will get a shout out, of course. If you want to be super generous or send £5 or $5 or €5 or more, you can have your request, and don't forget to leave the request in the message. Basically, you can pick any loco that I own, any one you like, and any of the rolling stock that you like, and you have your 5 minutes of fame as I run it live in front of the world on stream for you. So if you want to do that, if you want to support the channel, as I say, feel free to do that, and as I say, I'll be very grateful if you do. Okay, so with that then, let me show you the new controller and let me show you some requests carried over. So, ooh, who's that? Techno Andrew. That was an odd way to separate the syllables. Thank you very, very much. He says, "Hi Sam, I really enjoy your videos." So, I don't want to talk too much about the controller because I have filmed me unboxing it and talking about it. But obviously the fact that I've now got it set up means that, yeah, it's here before the video goes out for that. But it's the Gauge Master Twin Track Model D controller, something like that, and it is excellent. I don't want to say too much, but as I run the trains today, let me know, can you tell a difference? Do the models seem to be performing any better? I don't know. The other thing of note is, look at the size of it. I didn't realise how tiny these were, but it's going on about half the size of the HM2000, which is crazy to me. Right, so just a fair warning for you, there's going to be some crazy speeds going on today because I've got my HST on the outside line here, which was requested last week by the Great Western Rail fan, or GWR Rail fan. And this particular HST, oh, who was that? Oh, hold that thought, who was that? That was Mayo Hosco's Lego with Spider-Man and Elsa 2. Thank you very, very much, Mayo. He says, "Hey Sam, I request a Garter Blue Mallard with the Pepsi tankers, Kit Kat goods vans, one Ocean Wagon, one Prime Pork Wagon, one McVitie's goods van, and a Toad." Blimey, Mayo, that is a tall order, but I will certainly do that. Thank you very much for your support. Right, as I was saying then, this HST has got a monster motor put into it. It's got a CD motor which runs unbelievably quick. In fact, I'm going to have to be very careful with this new controller because I'm not used to it, and it's very possible, well, this is easily capable of derailing itself due to the high speeds it goes that quick. So that's going to be fun for sure, and we will try a full speed run at some point, I reckon, just for the fun of it. Then on the middle line we have Shining Time 4's request to see the J13 with brake vans, and we've got 4 LNER themed, I don't think that's the right word, regioned, there we go, brake vans on the middle line. And then on the inside line we have the Ugly Duckman's request for the K3. Thank you, whoever that was. I will come and take a look in just a second. Yep, the K3 with a box van train. As you can see, I've got some box vans. This K3 was poorly last time you saw it, I think. In the review it started to slow down and it was deteriorating, and the next time I tried to run it, in fact when I was testing for this running session, it didn't work right. The motor was smoking and making noise, so I painstakingly dismantled the motor, cleaned it out with a piece of wire, cleaned the gaps between the plates of the commutator, and amazingly it's now working. Let me show you that. This one's still on the HM2000, of course. It's working fine now, so I fixed it. Whether or not it's fixed forever, I'm not sure, but it seems alright now. Then the J13, here we go. It is a J13, isn't it? I'm hoping I haven't malfunctioned. Which us robots sometimes do. And then the HST, which may or may not start on its own. No, it hasn't done. So I'm going to set that up to a reasonable speed, and then because it's strange, the motor seems to stall very easily, you have to just give it a quick nudge like that. So I will have a quick look. In fact, I will set the split screen on while you watch this, and I will find out who just donated. So it was Neil Golding. Thank you so much, Neil. Please could you run, oh, I've not done this for a while, a Class 31 with your Southern Railway coaches even, in a heritage line style. That's a good idea, Neil. Thank you for the support, and I will certainly do that. Neon, could you run a C-Class, H-Class and a P-Class pulling a heavy goods train? Well, I can certainly do that because the Gauge Master controller is capable of running 3 engines because it's got a 1 amp output. So yes, I can do that, and thank you very much once again for the support. So the Gauge Master controller has a speed of 0 to 100, and just to put that in context for you, the HST that is running now is at speed 30. I kid you not, it's on speed 30 out of 100, which just demonstrates the ridiculousness of how quickly this thing is capable of going. And I reckon in order to get it off the track, I might speed it up for you, and we'll do a full speed test, which would be a lot of fun. There we have the J13 looking very good with its brake van train. We're going to be seeing quite a few brake van trains as time goes by because I've got a video of that coming up at some point, which should be fun, no doubt. Hello. So yeah, you notice I've got the HST on the outside line because I fully expect it to derail when I put it up to full speed. Or maybe I won't put it up to full speed. Maybe I'll put it up to close to full speed. Let's see. Right, shall we do it then? Who wants to see a disaster? Well, not me really, because it's going to be a pain to clean it up on stream. So the plan is I'm going to wait until it's where the J13 is now. No, the K3, sorry. So that it's on the big long straight for the speed up. Get your mobile phones filming, folks. This is where it's going to go badly wrong. Hopefully you'll see it. Right, it's coming round the corner now. Let's flip it up to full speed then. There we go. Oh gosh. Right, take it easy, take it easy. Let's go again. No, it's not going too crazy today actually. I reckon it might survive that. Whoa, my word. Well, I tell you what, it's mellowed in its old age. Blimey. Well, there you go. I'm not going to do too much of that because I noticed it was getting faster and faster as it was going. So there we go, the HST, everybody. I wonder if it's the other one that goes even faster. One, I've got two of these, and one, well, they've both got the CD motors in them that I put in, but one goes considerably faster than the other. So I reckon I must have picked the slower one for that. But we're good, we're good. That's very good. Thank goodness it didn't fly off the track. Although, to be honest, it's on the outside line and it's got to come off anyway. So I guess it would have been a nice way to get it off the track. And of course, they're so bulletproof, they're not gonna break, are they? Right, just waiting on the old K3 then, which I've noticed doesn't like curves very much. It does slow down quite dramatically on curves. So whether there's a problem with the wheel set or whether it is just underpowered, I don't know. But I'm going to be careful with it now because in its review I think I ran it with a few too many coaches, which might or might not have had an impact on doing it in. But I don't want to find out the hard way and blow it up. So we'll see that. Right, how are you all doing then? Did you enjoy that? I don't know if you were on the edge of your seats or not at the sight of that HST going around. I suppose there are scarier things to watch, aren't there? But we'll see. So, hi Sam and chat, says Lactrix. Tell us a railway story, says Leo Schmidt. I think if I sat here and told you a story, that might, that might sort of push the limits on some people. But we'll see, we'll see. Sam, listen please, there is thunder at mine, says Blue Juice Gaming. Yeah, we've had thunder too. Yeah, we've had massive thunderstorms at really inconvenient times as well. It's sort of 2 o'clock in the morning, sort of jerks you out of bed like that because it's absolutely terrifying. Yeah, some of the loudest thunder I've ever heard was this week. And like I say, it was in the middle of the night, so slightly annoying, but always exciting, I find, when thunder comes. It aggravated all of the local dogs, though. We had about 2 hours of dogs barking after that, so that was a good night's sleep, as I'm sure you can imagine. Berkeley Hill Model Railway says, hi. Yeet Station 4 says Pacific CY. Hello, Sam, says Sam'sTrains. Oh, Cool Guy 36 has got a good suggestion. Can you run a double header with Donald and Douglas with a freight train, please? That would be good. It's been a while since good old Donald and Douglas have been out on the track. You should make a Discord chat, Sam. Yes, I'd like to. If I get the time, I might look into it because people are relentlessly suggesting that I do that. Hello, Sam's Train, says Simon's Train. Only one train today, is it? That's all right. I haven't had rain in 2 months, says Angela Kogut. Blimey, where do you live then? We've had about 2 months of rain in the past week, in fact. So I guess it's all come to us and not you. That must be it. Thanks, the endless rant. Eh? What happened? Endless rant? I hope I didn't do an endless rant. Can you run Tornado, Stephen Larby? That's a good idea, yes. I think I ran Tornado last week, so it's not been too long for Tornado. Oh, the Ugly Duck Man, thank you very much. This is for MDH Games, who wants to see his and yours favourite cam pack, with Maunsell coaches with it, perhaps. Absolutely, I will certainly do that. And thank you, the Ugly Duck Man, for the support. And Mark, you can have a request in the last stream, since you've been my good mod. So thank you, Mark, for your modding support. I appreciate that. Okay, so I thought then we would take a look at some of your lot's photos and things. So I'm going to get the Instagram up right now. I'm going to refresh it. And let's see. There we go. I pressed the right button there. Yes, I did. Okay, so let's take a look then at what some folks have been doing, because I know it's been a while since this. So we have him, name is Pratt. I'm sure that's not the Pratt as in calling someone a fool, like a Pratt, what a Pratt. But yeah, we have looks like a 121. In fact, I've got a 121 sat right next to me, look, right there. So that's a coincidence, I suppose it's a coincidence. So that, yep, there we go, we've got that. We're still on, yep. That was cool. Dthrax Photo Wing, oh, one of my favourites. Speaking of Bullied Pacifics, there we go. Yep, thank you for sharing that. Oh, there's a few more, in fact. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. Oh, yes. Lovely. Oh, who was that? Oh, Connolly 500 the Fox. Nice to hear from my Fox friend again. Hello, I'm back from Ohio. Wow, he won first in one of the races. That's awesome. Congratulations. And thank you for the support. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. In fact, because you came first place... Oh, did that work? No, it didn't. I've just pressed my ooh button and it didn't work. So as a result, I sounded a bit like a mental patient there. So apologies, folks. Right, what was that one? Sorry. Oh, this is more of Mr. Pratt, which I hope is okay. Ooh, look at that. That's a nice bit of perspective, isn't it? Really, that little car, I mean, it's just a touch, isn't it? But it just gives you a sense of scale of the engine, which is amazing. So well done, Vlad Kopiti, I suppose. That looks fantastic, and I suspect that that's a real background. I suppose they are real trees, and he must have photographed that in his garden. But yeah, whatever the case might be, that's very impressive. I like that a lot. Or Tortenemus, I suppose. I don't know if I've seen this before, actually. Yeah, this is from April. Am I looking? Ah, yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Here we go. Here are more recent ones. Joey124, 12 minutes ago. Probably shouldn't show that, but I guess deal with it is what we have to say. We have P. Lawrence 32, who's sent this. Right, what's he put? Another day back at Didcot Railway Centre. Originally intended on being there for the Star Tugs exhibition. Star Tugs Trust, rather. I wonder if he's got some pictures of the tugs. I know my friend Dan was there. Hello, Dan, if you're watching. I don't suppose he will be. No, we haven't got any pictures of the tugs, but yes, I have seen some of the tugs when they were at Butterley. New stamps have arrived, is announced by Charles B. Curtis. So, what's the explanation here then? Poster for new US stamps. Oh right, interesting that they're using a photo of a Stania Black 5. Are they? Where's that? Ah yes, it's not on one of the stamps, it's just, yeah, that's strange. I reckon someone must have just grabbed a stock image then, and it happened to be a Black 5. Yeah, there it is. That is strange, Charles, you're right. I don't know what the story is with that. Wow, look at that. It's like a Peckett that's been sat on or something. Tracked and tested, which is a cool username, by the way. This is the real Peter Sam, apparently. Oh yeah, of course it is. That looks awesome. Very good, I like it. Dab on clickbait, there we go. A classic diesel shunter there. It looks like a, well, in my uneducated mind, I would call it an 04 or an 03, something like that. It looks a bit like Mavis-ish, doesn't it? Whether it is or not, I'm not 100% sure. Ooh, that looks cool. That looks like a London tube train on a slightly strange day out. I don't know. Pierhead, it says. That looks very cool. I like that. Ride Pierhead Station, Isle of Wight. Oh, it could be a London underground vehicle then, because they all do go to the Isle of Wight, or some of them do. Southern Railway Brake Van, Isle of Wight. That's another cool one. Yeah, I recognise that. Is that a Queen Mary? Looks a bit like one. Bearded Frodo, thank you so much. Hi Sam, can you run Thomas and Gordon with an express train, please? We'll watch the stream later after work. Yes, I will certainly do that. And thank you, Bearded Frodo. That's very, very kind of you. We've got another one there. Looks like a Hunslet Austerity, possibly. And there it is again. I can't quite make out the name of that one, unfortunately. But yeah, what was that? Abbott or something? I can't tell. Better not embarrass myself. P. Lawrence, yeah, we saw some of Paul's stuff. Oh, that's one of mine. We don't really want to see that. Last one then, Frank Codzilla. There we go. And there we go. There's a little info if you want to read up on that. I will spare you trying to read all that myself. But here's some more of the pictures. Very nice. Yes, completely foreign to me, that one. Yeah, don't recognise that one too much. But yeah, that is cool. Right. Well, I hope you like that. Keep tagging me on Instagram and we might do another section like that next time. Let's see how everyone's doing then. 03 says Phil Jackson. I'm guessing that's telling me... Oh, it was an 03, the shunter, that is. Okay, all right. Ooh, War Tank says the Ugly Duckman. So it looks like Duckman recognised that. That's cool. Sam says Raffic 90. Raffic 90, said Sam. There we go. Also based on the Talalai... a Welsh word. I'm not going to try and... I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to embarrass myself. So yeah, most people are confirming that it was an 03. So cool. Nice, right. Okay, Wall of Fame then. Let's get some Wall of Fame stuff done. So if you want to have your picture shown on stream and put up on the wall behind me, just send it to my email address, which is samstrains@outlook.com, and I will show it for you next time. Of course, you've got one more chance because the final stream is happening in a couple of weeks' time. So you can see it then if you want to do that. So the Railway Guy, 1405. There we go, very cool picture. I will show this up close so that hopefully you can figure out what it is if you recognise it. X401, if that means something to everybody. It's Union Pacific. In fact, it looks a bit like Big Boy, but I don't know whether it is or not. But it looks very large. That's one thing I can say for sure. Very, very large. So that's cool. Thank you for that. This one, Salty Boys, Trains, Vlogs and More by Zach. Let me show you this one. Yeah, it's not printed brilliantly, that one, but you can see he's drawn some sort of railway vehicle there, and even though the quality is not great, you can tell that it was very well drawn. So well done, Zach. That looks very good. If Zach gives your name, I think that's what it says. Yeah, looks like it. Explosive Bomber. Is there any other kind? There we go. 3 of his engines there. I seem to remember seeing some of Explosive Bomber's trains before, but there we go. There you have them. A nice eclectic mix there of steam and diesel, which I very much like, including what looks maybe like a warship at the back there, or no, perhaps it's not. No, it's hard to tell. If you want to look up the running number, feel free to, and let me know in the chat. Okay, James P. Well, this is one that we probably will recognise. It is, of course, an A4. There we go. As for which one, I'm not too sure, although you might be able to read the running number there just about. Hopefully that will come across on camera, maybe. So thanks for that, James. That looks good, and that's a good size as well. That'll fill a hole on the wall of fame. Model Mania, some sort of Southern Railways tank engine, it looks like. Very, very nice, that one. Thank you, Model Mania. I enjoyed looking at that one. Now this is something that frankly frightened me when I saw it, when it came to my email address. Alan B sent in this, and just get a load of this face. Makes Bachmann's models look practically child friendly, doesn't it? That does, my goodness. The sinister grin, that's what we'll call that one. Man, what does that grin say? Does that say, I'm about to consume you in your entirety and you won't be able to do anything about it? Ooh, scary. Okay, let's try and keep this kid friendly, shall we? That was slightly worrying. But thank you, Alan. Thank you for that. And thank you for the nightmares, which will probably ensue after that. Now, this is a strange one. C and NW train fan. It's a Lionel wagon, I think, of some sort. I thought that might have been me on the side, which is a bit egotistical. SMT mainline, thank you very much. Would it be possible to run your Daylight GS4? Yep, sure, if I've got time, I will give that a try. I tried to be a member, but I don't have a credit card, so I need to have Apple Pay. So yeah, okay, Connolly, no worries. Well, thank you for attempting to become a member anyway, and I appreciate that. If you send me your email address, I'll try and send you some of the membership perks if I can. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It isn't me, I'm happy to say, on the side. I don't think. Yeah, please don't do that, anybody. But yeah, it looks cool. Anyway, nicely decorated in there. Whether that's a custom or whether that's actually a model produced in that way, I'm not sure, but it does look cool. And then here we go. This is another, well, it's actually, again, slightly terrifying engine here from Dax M. There we go. I'll show you the face. I don't think it's quite as frightening as the last one, although it does look like he's been in extreme heat, perhaps this week, in fact, and his face seems to have started to melt, which is a shame. I mean, that must be painful. But apart from that, Dax, that is very well drawn, and any drawing at all is considerably better than anything I could do. Yeah, if you didn't know already, I cannot draw. I could draw a stickman and mess it up. I'm that bad. So yeah, that is very good. Well done, and the good perspective on there as well. That looks very good. All right, so that's cool. So let's do the next lot of requests then. Let me go through and thank all of my super chatties that have donated so far. Thank you all for the support once again. That's very, very good of you. Right, so what date is it today? The 28th, isn't it? Should know that, really. Sorry about that. Okay, so we have Shining Time 4, thank you very much. AZ Rail, thank you very much. Dancing Turtle 96, Lee Kerwin, William Town, Paul S, Techno Andrew, there we go, didn't quite butcher it as badly that time. Mayo Hosco's Lego with Spider-Man and Elsa 2, Neil Golding, Me on the Ugly Duck Man, Connolly 500 the Fox, Bearded Frodo, SMT, I keep wanting to say 5MT there, but I think it is an S. And Connolly 500 the Fox again, so thank you very much for that. So Shining Time 4 actually sent this before the stream started, so I didn't get a chance to thank him personally, but he wanted to see a Super D, which is also a G2A of course, with mixed vans and trucks with an any towed brake van, which I think he means the Towed B that I've reviewed quite recently, so yes, I will do that. I've got that written down, I wrote that down before the stream. So it was Dancing Turtle 96. I'll just put Dancing T, I'll know what I mean. Could you run Duck and Percy? Yep, Duck and Percy as a double header with a train of mixed freight and Bachmann towed at the end. Yep, plus towed. Oh, and Train Fan 25 Stuart says, Oh, giving to you makes me happy. Can you run Toby with Pullmans? You rock, Sam. Well, thank you so much. Yes, I can certainly do that, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You really are helping to keep this channel alive. And there you go, you got your moo cow noise as well. So yeah, thank you very much, Stuart. Appreciate it. Right, so that's two of three. We need to find another one. Lee Kerwin. Hi Sam, sorry I'm late. Do you think you'll be able to run the request I suggested last time? Which one was that, Lee? I will certainly look into that. I thought I'd got them all. In fact, I should be able to go back and find it if I look. Let's go on to the search here and find Lee. Yeah, generally speaking, I go over it with a fine tooth comb to make sure that I haven't missed anybody, but I might as well double check just in case. Lee Kerwin, right. A1, yes, you said, can you please run the A1 class or the Merchant Navy in blue with any coaches? I did do that, so is that what you want to see again, Lee? I will do that for you. Which one did I do? I think I did the A1, didn't I? So if we do the Merchant Navy, there we go, we can get that done for you. Okay, we'll do that then. Right, let's jump down onto the track then, and we'll get these engines off, and we'll get some of these on. Cool. Right, shall I go for a break or shall I do it live? I think we'll do it live, shall we? And thank you very much, Cultured Terraria. Crikey. Yeah, I ain't doing too good today, I must say, with the pronunciations. Right, well thank you HST for your performance. Ooh, we got a creepy laugh, creepy. Right, let's pull that off then. There we go, put that to one side. I mean, it's not worth a lot, but I still don't want to stand on it, so I'll put that somewhere safe. We need the Toad B, which is inconveniently sandwiched in between there, so there we go, put that to one side because we need that. The J13 can go to one side now. Thank you for your service, Mr. J13. Do love that one, by the way, because of course it's in the Great Northern livery, which I just absolutely love. It's gorgeous. We'll keep some of these box vans on then, because we have been asked to do a mixed freight train, so that can form part of the mixed freight train, I reckon. So let's find out exactly what we've got to do. So we need the Super D first of all, with the mixed vans and trucks, and the Toad B. So that can go. That existing LNER brake van. We'll put the Toad B on the back. There we go. And I will get some other trucks as well, because he did ask for mixed. So let's get a mixture. There we are, some wagons. And we will see if we can coax the Super D into a nice performance. In fact, that one had motor trouble as well. It happens quite a lot, you might notice, with the Bachmann engines. Yeah, I was running that one in a video. This was a bit of a while ago. This was 6 months or so ago, and yeah, it slowed right down and its motor started smoking for no reason. And it was the same as the K3 really. I stripped it down, which I hate to do because it's so fiddly, and yeah, it's easy to cock it up. But amazingly, I did manage to fix this one as well. However, it's not run for a little while since then, so I am just going to run it on its own and see if it still works right. So if it is working right, it should go at a healthy speed. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, if it wasn't working right, it would start off slow and crawl forwards, and then it would speed up on its own, and you might see a puff of smoke. But that is as it should be, I think. I wasn't 100% sure then, because it's quite a slow loco, and I wondered whether it might have a problem. But no, it doesn't seem to have. That seems all right. So I'll back that up a little bit. Okay. Then what was it? It was Duck and Percy with a mixed train once again. No, it wasn't a mixed train, it was mixed freight, I think, wasn't it? So we want Duck, and it will have to be the Hornby Percy, because of course I don't have a Bachmann one. So there he is. There we go. Don't know who you wanted at the front, but we'll find out who's fastest, shall we? So we put them on like this, don't couple them. Oh, yep, we got that right. It was indeed Duck that was fastest, so we'll pop that on there. And then we'll find some wagons, shall we say? I can't remember. I think he did put mixed wagons, didn't he? I think so. So let's have a look then. Some box cars, I think, or box vans. Some open wagons. How about some troublesome... Oops, just dropped a wagon. Oopsie. Yeah, that's the one thing I hate about storing wagons in a cabinet, the couplings seem to lock together from time to time, and you can end up pulling out an extra wagon when you didn't intend to. So that's just happened, but luckily it was an old mainline one, which is good and robust, and nothing's happened to it, nothing's broken, so we're all good. I can't remember where I put the troublesome trucks now, which is a bit of a pain. Oh no, I've got them. Here we are. And then I think he wanted Toad as well. Not any old Toad, I think he meant the actual Bachmann Toad. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did, so we'll get that as well. Come on, Toad, somebody's asked for you. Where are you? There we go. Wake up, Mr. Toad. We need you. Okay, well, I don't know how well I've done with the mixture. I seem to have only gotten one box van after all that. It's a Coca-Cola one. No, not a Coca-Cola, cocoa van. So, hot chocolate, basically. There we go. Let's put these on. Let's slip the troublesome trucks in there. Hopefully they're not going to be too troublesome. Thank you very much, whoever that was. I will get to you in just a second. I will take a look. First of all, let me get all these on. Ooh, it's quite a long train, actually. Well, it is for the Bachmann Thomas standards anyway, because they're not mightily powerful engines. Although, yeah, that duck isn't too bad, I must say. He's got a fair bit of power. Okay, so who was it? It was Lee Kerwin. Thank you very much. I sent the outrageous request in comments. Okay, Lee. Oh, all right. Okay, thank you. Well, we haven't set that up yet, so let's have a quick look then. How do I get to the comments? Let's have a look. Right. All right. I don't know how I've missed that then, Lee. What happened, I wonder? Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's he asked for? Where are we? Oh, it would be taking ages to load, wouldn't it? Come on, it's this laptop. Oh, I can't see it. I haven't got a comment, Lee. Okay. Oh, a mix of steam and DMU with a mix of rolling stock. Oh, right, okay. A mix of steam and DMU with a mix of rolling stock. All right, well, we'll do that then. That's a good idea, Lee. Thank you for that. So, well, I think it was it the Derby lightweight I ran last week? So let's do the, oh, I forget this one. Someone will have to let me know. It's either a 108 or it's a 101, isn't it, this one? I might be wrong. If I am, please let me know. And a mix of steam, although it didn't specify which steam loco to run with it. So, somebody in the chat, let me know any steam loco you would like with this DMU. Let me know in the chat. I'm going to grab some rolling stock, and the first one I see once I've got the rolling stock is the one that I'm going to choose. So there we go. There's an idea for you. Mix of rolling stock, okay. So, let us get some ocean wagons, because I know we're going to need some of those later on. There we go. And let's do some Smiths box vans. There we go. Right, I'll put these on the track, and then I'll come and have a look and see which suggestion I spot the first. And I think I might have just jostled one of the cameras, so I might have to double check whether or not I've knocked that out of off kilter or not. We'll have to see. So there we go, some ocean wagons. There we go. Oops, if I can get that on. I think I will put both all the engines at one end of the train though, just because it's a bit safer on stream. Normally when you start adding bankers, I mean I'll do it if asked, but yeah, it seems to encourage more derailments, so if I've got a choice I won't do it. But of course if that's what someone's requested, then there's not a lot of choice. But we will see. Right, I think I've given it long enough for the chat to catch up. So let's have a look, see what people suggested. Let's see. The Hornby IVAT 2MT, says Philip Page. That's the first one I spotted. All right, well let's do that then. I can't remember. Did I put this one in yesterday's video? I can't remember. If not, this is a much older version of the Bachmann 2MT that I showed yesterday. But of course it's a Hornby one. It's the original Hornby one. It's not quite Triang. A lot of people call it Triang in the comments. Technically speaking, I don't think it was Triang. I think it came along after they changed the name. I could be wrong, actually, but I'm pretty sure it came along after they changed the name to Hornby, rather. So if I'm right, it is a Hornby Railways model. Mine are certainly Hornby anyway. Mine don't say Triang on the boxes. But, right. Okay. Let's see how this goes then. So I'm going to put the entire DMU on, I reckon, just for the fun of it. And I picked this one because it does have proper couplings on both ends. Although I think most of them do. I think the Bachmann ones do as well. But like I say, I did run the Derby lightweight last week, so I didn't want to run that one. I suppose I have the 108 as well from Bachmann, which I could have picked, but I didn't. I just picked the first one I saw. Okay, and then the IVAT on the front. And I do love the IVATs, by the way. I hope I didn't give the impression that I don't like them. Yeah, lovely things. One of the first engines I ever really learnt about, because I saw an IVAT tank engine, yeah, at the NRM when I first visited there. So there we are. No brake van, a bit dodgy, isn't it, that? But we're okay. Then the Thomas & Friends double header and the Super D, which is going to work, right? Yes, going to work properly today. Don't want any smoke or anything like that. Hopefully not. All right, let's see what people think about this then, and let's see what other people were suggesting. Mega oof, the endless rant. Mega oof, why? What happened? Stop being mean to me, says Adam Rushton. Nobody be mean to Adam, it's not allowed. Hello, Duck, me great western chum. Duck, someone's saying hello to you. Did you hear that? Where are you? Don't know where Duck's gotten to. He's probably behind the bookcase. Oh, he's just disappeared. Well, let's set it to that camera. You might just catch him. Back, says Pacific CY. Welcome back. Hope you're doing all right. Could you please run Edward and Gordon, says Salty Boys, Trains and Vlogs and More. Yeah, that's a good idea. If you want to send a request for that, I can certainly run those two. I'm sure they'll get on with each other long enough to appear in a request. That would be good. Dino King, the VII, says, amazing! Well, thank you. I don't know what you find amazing, but thank you very much. Nice DMU rake, says Neil, thank you. Well, thanks, Neil. Glad you liked it. Hope it's... Does it satisfy you? Where is it? There it is. Yeah, that looks good, doesn't it? That's the second time I've done that in 2 streams. That's very cool. And the 2MT is running so quietly on those new controllers. I don't suppose you'll really realise that on the stream, just through my microphone. But yeah, I noticed that when I first started it, there wasn't a sound coming from it. Yeah, I have knocked that camera a bit, haven't I? Let's see if I can raise it up a little bit. Doesn't really matter. It was a bit, yeah, a bit OCD of me that was, wasn't it? But yeah, that looks good. I like that. And let's have a look at the Thomas & Friends double header then. Yeah, they seem to be working well too, don't they? Yeah, very nice. Good. Well, thank you for those folks. Ooh, we'll stop the DMU train before it goes on another lap. There we are. And the other thing I've noticed about this Gauge Master controller is that I mean, it sounds elementary, doesn't it? But as you turn the controller up, as you turn the knob up, the speed increase seems proportional to the amount that you turn the knob, which isn't the case with these HM2000s. You get to about 3/4 speed and then it slows down, and then just as you turn it right up to the max, it speeds up again, which I've gotten used to, but to start with, that always irritated me slightly. But no. You turn the controller up on the Gauge Master, the speed goes up, and that's always true. So that's good. I must say I like it very much. And yeah, it seems to work very, very well. And as I say, it's got an amp, so I can triple head and not worry about it. And I expect, knowing Gauge Master, it will put out more than an amp if I want to, but I've not tried shorting it yet, so I don't know what's going to happen when I do that. So there we go. Last look at those while I grab my piece of paper back. Very nice. Okay, so I'm just going to go on a little break then. First of all, I'm going to give a shout out to everyone that has super chatted so far, who of course all are entered for the Drummond 700 class, and we're coming to the end of that competition now, so I'm quite looking forward actually to giving it away at last. If I've been talking about it so much, finally it's going to be going to a brand new owner. So, where are we? July 28th. So, a huge thank you then. Here's the master list to Shining Time 4, AZ Rail, Dancing Turtle 96, Lee Kerwin, Williamtown again, Paul S, Techno Andrew, Mayo Hosco's Lego with Spider-Man and Elsa 2, Neil Golding, Me Un, The Ugly Duck Man, Connolly 500 the Fox, Bearded Frodo, SMT Mainline, Connolly 500 the Fox again, Train Fan 25 Stewart, Cultured Terraria, I think I've said that right, and Lee Kerwin again. Thank you very much to everybody. I really appreciate your support. So I'm going to be gone just for 5 minutes. I'm going to clear off the line and get the next lot of requests sorted. Again, if you want to send in a request, keep them coming and I will try and get to them all today. If not, obviously they'll go over to next week, but there should still be some slots today. So here comes the break. Prepare for the irritating music, and I apologise for it in advance. And when we come back, I will show you what I bought from wish.com, and of course we'll get some more engines running. Alright, let's do it. Okay folks, I am back. I thought I would liberate you from that very irritating music. So while I was gone, a huge thank you to Colin Wykes, who sent a very generous donation. Also Charles Curtis, thank you very much Charles for you as well. He says, "Hi Sam, thank you for the great live stream." Well, thank you for watching it, Charles. That's very good of you. We have Rob Arnold as well. Thank you very Thank you very much for that, Rob. Even though that made absolutely no sense. And to everyone else, welcome back and thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. Lots more to come. So far, we've already talked about the competition, and thank you to everyone who has gotten entered in for that. I've just read everybody out. Yep, feel free to keep entering. You've still got until the 18th of August to get in on that, and then I'll be finally giving that away. So what's to come? We've got the wish.com items, as I talked about. Not that exciting, actually, that, because what's come isn't actually that bad. So I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. I've got a letter to open and of course more requests to come. So I've already set up a couple of the requests, as you can see. And I thought I would come back to talk to you again so that you didn't have to listen to too much of that annoying music while I set up the last one. So let's see, it was just Mayo's that I still have to do, which featured the the Garter Blue Mallard. Yes, I don't want to get that wrong because he was very specific on the livery. So let's get that in. Garter Blue Mallard, definitely one of the best A4 liveries, I would say. Yes, very much like that. So let's see how this runs on the controller, shall we? Look at that for a crawl. That's not bad, is it? Yeah, I must say, they run quieter. I wonder if that Gauge Master controller doesn't have any PWM, which might make it quieter, I suppose. So we want the Pepsi wagons, a Kit Kat, and an Ocean wagon to start with. So let's find those. He did say Pepsi wagons, which suggests plural, but I'm not sure how many I've got. I might only have one. I will double check that. Yeah, it seems I've only got one, so I haven't got a choice on that. The Kit Kat, I think, is in the other set of drawers, and I've got an Ocean out already, so let me go and do that. Yeah, this is the problem now. I don't know where the Kit Kats are. Yes, I do. I found one. There we go. So, this is quite a nice brand train, actually, if you consider Ocean a brand. So there we go. And Mallard doesn't often pull goods, I must say. In real life, I don't think they did it a lot either, so this is quite interesting. An Ocean, yes, Prime Pork, a McVitie's van. It's been a while since I've shown a McVitie's one, I think. Prime Pork is easy to find, there we go. I might struggle to find my McVitie's ones. Right, now where do I keep these? Ah, yes, I see. Bottom drawer, there we go. Yeah, don't run these often. So there we are. It was pork first, I think, wasn't it? Yep, there we are, Prime Pork, McVitie's. This is very, very specific of you, Mayo. I do hope I'm setting up what you had in mind. And then a toad. Okay. Well, I don't know which toad you fancied, but since I've got my LNER one to hand, I'll put that on. There we go. Okay, so what do we have here then? So we have Mayo's request. There you go, Mayo Hosco. Thank you very much for that. Paul S wanted to see the ROD with the G2A with a mixed freight train, so we've got that going on just there. And then of course we had William Town, who wanted to see the War Department 280. I'm hoping this is what you had in mind, William. If it's not, then, well, I guess the Great Western one is there as well. But yeah, I think these were War Department, weren't they? I could be wrong about that. But he wanted to see the BR coach, which I've got there, the Great Western Siphon, a Great Western coach, and then it was it mixed wagons? I hope it was. Yes, with some wagons, and there is a toad on the back of there. So, yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. We'll get those running in just a second. But first of all then, let's talk about what I bought from wish.com, which should be quite interesting. Let's see if anyone can guess what it might be this time. Think railway items / toys. Let's see if anyone can figure this out. Yes, interesting, interesting. I'm not sure whether to call it a disappointment or not though, because obviously it's come and it's decent, it's half decent, but I was hoping it wouldn't be, because obviously that's where the entertainment comes from. but we will see. Oh my, the melons are back, says Tom May. Hello from New Mexico, says New Mexico Model Rail Fan 22. Well, hello to you too. Hope everything's going well in New Mexico for you. I see we've got some eggplants, or is it aubergines in this country, in the chat, so welcome to those. I don't know what they're doing. UK for life, says Blue Wolf 360 Beams. Yeah, go UK, I guess. Can we see a B12 with the cow? What do you mean, the cow? Do you mean Bullman? The cow could mean any number of people, really. Run a Princess Royal, an A4 and a Battle of Britain, hauling one Caledonian four-wheeled coach. That's a good idea. It's not a bad idea. Harry, sure thing, says Ethan Schmid. Okay, whatever that means. Right, I'm going to tell you then what this Wish.com item was. So it was a tunnel, right? Now, I had high hopes for this being a disaster of a product because it was super cheap. It cost £2 and the postage was nominal as well, and that sort of sets you up, doesn't it? You get an idea of what quality we're going to be dealing with here. And if I can show you a picture, in fact, so these are the listings of the image. As you can see, it clearly is more of a toy, really, than a serious model, I would say. You can see we've got like a Trackmaster style Thomas coming out of it in the bottom corner there, and we've got some sort of racing Hot Wheels car, for some reason, on grass going into it. I don't know what the idea is there. But I thought, you know, maybe it would translate into a decent model. You can see we've got what looks like maybe some green lighting on there, and it looks to be reasonably well painted. So yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought for £2 it's going to be dreadful, and it came, and here it is. It looks absolutely identical to the photos. It doesn't look amazing, and in person it is a lot more sort of cheapo. As you can see, it flexes quite a bit. It is a bit more cheapo than they made it look in the photos, but disappointingly there's nothing I could say about it that is horrendously terrible. In fact, let me show you close up. I suppose what looks like lighting was just, or licking I suppose, was just sort of roughly applied green paint, and there are a few bits where it's sort of come out of the mould and not come out completely brilliantly, but apart from that it looks like a completely functioning toy, doesn't it? It looks as though it would be just fine. Yeah, as a model, not a model really, but as a toy, yeah, it seems absolutely fine. So yeah, minor disappointment there, I suppose. Could I? Yes, I could, couldn't I? I could put it over the track here. So yeah, either as a toy or as a project to detail up slightly, I suppose. It might be interesting. I haven't tried this yet, so whether or not there's going to be enough sort of vertical clearance to get my engines through, I don't know, so we'll have to make sure the camera is on it there when we get it tested. But yeah, unfortunately that was a bit of a disappointment. But I don't want to disappoint you, so I did buy something else from Wish.com quite a while ago. It's not entertaining, it's actually pretty decent, but I thought I would show it to you. So it's this. It looks like a reel of film, but what it is LED tape. And this was dead cheap. This must have been some sort of surplus stock that they were selling off cheap, because this cost like less than a £5, including delivery. And it's a 5-metre reel of tape, and I've got a battery here. It runs on 12 volts, but you can get them to light if you connect a 9-volt battery like this. Or if I get the polarity right, you can. There we go. You see that light up? It's not that easy to tell, and obviously on 9 volts they're not going to be that bright, but these are amazing for lighting coaches and other bits of rolling stock that you want to light, and this an awful lot cheaper than buying those kits that you can buy specifically to light coaches, provided you don't mind wiring in the pickups and things and putting the capacitors on board or whatever. These will do loads of coaches. I mean, you've got 5 meters here, and it can be cut into sections, of course, and I did take it out and the quality seems all right. There's 1 or 2 dead LEDs on it, but as I say, you can cut it into sections, so you don't have to use those those dead ones if you don't want to. So yeah, check those out on Wish.com if you want to get some cheap LED lights. It's actually the same sort of thing that I use to light the room in here. However, I don't recommend you trying to light your entire railway with really cheap ones like this. I would go to Ultra Bright, I think it is, or something like that. Get some decent ones if you want to light, serious things. But if you're just putting it into coaches and that sort of thing, it's absolutely fine. You can go as cheap as you like, and generally speaking, they work all right. And if they fail, it's not that big a deal. So there we go. That was that. Okay, so next up then, I thought I would show you some of the models and things that I've purchased that I'm quite excited about and that might be coming up quite soon for review. So we have, first of all, a bit of rolling stock. We have this. I bought this. I'm not going to show you any close-ups of this because I don't want to spoil the review, but it is a Hornby horse box, and I've always been interested in horse boxes because our family are interested in horses. Not much me, but you know, around them quite a lot. So yes, horse boxes. It was a good deal. It was quite cheap as far as I remember, and one of my first ever pieces of rolling stock was a Triang horse box, which I converted into a motorised horse box for some bizarre reason, thus destroying it. So now at long last I do have a proper horse box again, and I'm going to review that quite soon. And I think that's all I can say about horse boxes really. I think if I try to prolong that and stretch that out anymore, that would get rather dull. Then we have a steam loco. This is one that I've had for ages. I've had this for over a year, I think, maybe even 2, but for some reason I forgot about it and didn't review it. It's a Bachmann Class J11, as you can see on the front. That's one that I really need to review because, yeah, it needs to get out of its box. I feel sort of bad for it. So that's one that I will have to try and do before the end of the year, hopefully a lot quicker than that. And then one that was recommended to me many times, and it's heavy too, is this, a Dapple Class 22. I've heard loads of great things about Dapple diesels. I've only ever tried their steam locos before, and I found them to be a bit mediocre / overpriced, but I'm told that the diesels are not like that at all. So this diesel, I'm hoping, is going to be an awful lot better than the steam ones I got, and from others and from what I've heard of this, that is absolutely the case. So I can't wait to get this out. The box weighs a ton already. It's very, very heavy. Presumably that's also because of the excellent packaging. Look at this, absolutely rock solid. So this is coming soon. I'm going to be reviewing this very soon for you. So do you like Dapple diesels? Finally, I'm going to be representing those on my channel a little bit, so that's cool. All right, so with that then, let us get on to these requests. Let's try that tunnel and see if it's actually going to take some trains through it. So, take a sip and let's go for it. Let's see if we can get this to work. So, let's try the A4 with her goods train. I'm sorry, Mr. Mallard, for making you pull a goods train, but at least it demonstrates how versatile you are. There we go, that's a nice political way of persuading it to do it. There we have the 280. Ooh, I hope that's not too much for it to pull. It certainly doesn't sound very happy. Never is it? The darn thing. Let's have a look. Melons for Flying Scotsman. Interesting, says Blue Wolf 360 memes. Well, fair enough, if you say so. All right. So let's have a look at that Austerity 280. See how that's going. I do worry about this one. Look at that. I mean, because it's got such a crummy mechanism inside it, I do worry about putting so many wagons on it. But it seems all right. Hopefully it will be. We're not going to be running it too long. Yeah, Mallard probably doesn't like goods trains like Gordon. Yeah, you can imagine Mallard being a bit snobby like that, can't you? No offence to Mallard. I'm sure she's not that snobby. But yeah, you can imagine her being a bit too proud for pulling, at least tankers. Tankers seem to be quite dirty things, don't they? For posh engines like Mallard, I don't know whether she'd like that or not. Spencer certainly wouldn't, but maybe Spencer and Mallard are different characters altogether. Who knows? Right, let's follow this double header then. Let's wait for that to come out from behind the bookcase. Well, we'll watch these go here, and then we'll see if it goes through the tunnel without crashing into it. Hopefully it will. Right, here we go. Where are they? There we go, into shot. So they look great, by the way. Thank you very much for the suggestion of putting these two sort of 8-coupled wheeled locos together. They do look great. I don't know that I've ever put those together before, so this should be interesting. All right, moment of truth. Yep. Well, that was fairly uneventful, wasn't it? Yes, it seemed to work well. Jolly good. Excellent. Well, that's that then. Glad that seemed to work. Let's bring these to a halt. Ooh, Mallard's going a bit speedily in her traditional way. There we are. Man, I tell you what though, that we're going to have to go and look at that Bachmann WD engine, because it sounds like a Triang engine. It's that noisy. I don't know if you can hear this. Let me lean down so that you can hear it. Here we go. Can you hear this? Ah. It sounds like a grumpy old man that's been woken up for a 2-month stupor. It really doesn't sound happy at all. Man, I will have to stop it after this lap because, yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. I'm trying to remember whether I've had it long enough to service it. I don't think I have. So what might have happened is it might have been sat in a storeroom somewhere with one of the retailers. I must have bought it from Hatton's, I think. So it could be that they've had it for a long while and so it's a bit dry. That's the kindest possible explanation, isn't it? But yeah, it sounds like it needs a jolly good service, and whether or not it's the new controller, I don't know, but it sounds a lot more unhappy than it did when I reviewed it. Not that it sounded happy when I reviewed it anyway, but yeah, I don't remember it sounding quite that brutal. Well, there we go. You can sit and fester there then until I can be bothered to service it. Yeah, that was rough. That was pretty rough. Right, so before I get on to more requests, I do have a letter to open, and it's one that I'm quite excited about because it says on the back, "Presents inside." So there we go. And while I open this, you've got one more chance, obviously, to send in letters and drawings for me to open on the live streams. Don't send me presents. Generally speaking, just send me a letter or a drawing or something like that. Although I don't know what this is, so maybe I will really enjoy this. We'll take a look. But otherwise, yeah, don't send me anything of value. Keep it for yourself, or if you really don't want it, sell it, because obviously I don't want to just take stuff off your hands for free. That isn't cool. But I do appreciate everyone that does offer from time to time. So anyway, yeah, if you want to send me something, there we go. I'll leave that on for the time being. Put my iPad out of the way and find out what this is. So let's have a look at the presents first then. Oh God. Right. Look folks, look what I have. Who's this? Avril Lavigne. Wow, okay, interesting. I mean, okay, and there's another one. Cool. Well, I appreciate that. Who has sent these? I mean, I won't be able to play them on stream, unfortunately, which some I know will be disappointed about, only because of copyright issues, obviously. But yeah, I appreciate those very much. Right, what's this? The Cool Cats Club. Okay, oh, that sounds cool. So shout out to the Cool Cats Club. There we go, sounds good. Let's take a look at this. Ooh, okay. Handwritten, that shows some commitment, that does. So, to Sam, hi Sam, I've never written to you before. We've spoke numerous times on the internet, especially YouTube. I know you do lots of videos on toy trains. I thought I'd send you these 2 CDs of a Canadian singer called Avril Lavigne. She's my favourite singer and my crush. Ooh, okay. Interesting. I'm sorry to have read that out in front of everyone. Hopefully you meant for me to. Okay, she's now got 6 studio albums. I made a compilation CD out of her first 5 albums. Very cool. Let's have a look. Oh, she was recently diagnosed with Lyme's disease, a form of cancer, before releasing her new album. I didn't realise that. Head Above Water. She sings rock music genres of alternative. Is that rock or a lot of music genres? I'm not sure. I must say I don't know very much about her, but I'm learning through this. Pop punk rock, cool, and post-grunge. Next page. If you'd like to find some more information about her, you can always go on Wikipedia. I certainly will. I will definitely do that. But I think she's covered one of Metallica's oldest tracks called Fuel. Interesting. Right, I was thinking you should start looking into doing a train spotting for your next video. You could get the Bluebell Railway, the London Underground, or you could do it anywhere you want. That's a good idea. I used to do that. I did that for the South Devon Railway once, and that was fun, so I might do that again. Well, I live in London, where I'm from, so I mostly do the London Underground. Fair enough. Anyway, have fun with the CDs. Thank you very much, by the way, for those CDs. That's very kind of you. Enjoy them and have a good day. Yours sincerely, Harry. Well, thank you very much. Yes, I won't read your second name out just in case. Well, obviously you don't want to do that for privacy reasons. But Harry, thank you for the CDs. I will enjoy them immensely. I'm sure I will. And yeah, thank you for the letter. And anyone else? I mean, if you've got some CDs that you don't want, yeah, that's where you send them. But preferably, you know, anything you like. A drawing to put on the wall of fame, a letter, anything like that is absolutely fine. Okay, so let's take a look then and see what else we need to run in terms of requests. So I think we'll do one more round, and then if there are any left over, we'll do those on the next stream, which is going to be on the 18th of August. So pop that one down on your calendar, if you've got a calendar, or diaries, or whatever you use. Right, let's have a look. Oh, and by the way, I've just noticed there was a super chat last stream from me that says, can you get a Gauge Master control sometime? Well, I didn't buy it because of that super chat, but I have done now. So yes, I certainly have. Right, let's take a look then. So it was Neil Golding first, Neil G, who wanted to see a Class 31 with Southern coaches. Well, this is interesting. Yes, I will certainly do that, Neil. Good idea. Mion, speaking of the devil, wanted to see the C plus H plus P. I've had a big problem with my H class, so I'm hoping it's going to work today. It's got a dodgy motor in it at the moment. The story of that is going to come out in a running session, so I won't bore you with it now. But yeah, I'm not sure whether that's going to work, but we'll see. And then we'll get the Ugly Duckman slash MDH. MDH, who wanted to see Canpack with Maunsell coaches, which is fine. I can very much certainly do that. All right, this one's going to be fun. Let's do it. So, anything we can leave on? Mion, yes, we could probably leave. Yes, we could probably, in fact, because that H class, no, yes, the H class is a bit dodgy, I'm going to put it on the Gauge Master controller in its triple header because, well, first of all, you want that anyway because it's going to be quite a bit of current required to run 3 engines, especially one with a faulty motor. So the Gauge Master is the more powerful controller, so it makes sense to do that. What was the other one? It was the C class, the H class, was it the P class maybe? I think it probably was. Where have I written it? Yes, it was the P, right. So I think we will put, well, the H class is going to have to go at the front, so it's going to have to be pushed along, I reckon, which might not help it. Let's see if it's running all right, by the way. It is. Basically, I bought a really cheap, the motor in it failed, needless to say. It's always the case. So I bought a cheap one from China, a 5-pole one, for about £1 on eBay, and that's what it's running in now, so it's not bad. But I've noticed that the armature wasn't nearly as substantial as the original one. So I got in touch with Hornby, and bless them, they actually sent me a replacement motor free of charge. So top marks for Hornby's customer care. But I thought, you know, while it's working, I might as well leave the cheap, nasty motor in there from China and just find out how long it lasts, really, just as an interesting experiment. And if, or maybe not if, maybe when it fails, I'll have a replacement that I can put into it, and I'll know that it's an official replacement which has the best chance possible of working properly. But I know there's a lot of folk that do have failed motors in their H class. AD Pullen is one of them. I don't know if he's watching, but yeah, I know he's been telling me about his. And there have been comments as well. I've had quite a few comments. Yeah, I think there was a couple of comments on the H class review. Which do keep coming once in a while, but it's also by email as well. Loads of people have said, what do I do? It's slowed down, it's smoking. I just say to them, I reckon it must be the motor. I've heard this before. Okay, and then of course we want the P-Class. Where have I put that? Did I not already get that? Strange. Right, and we'll go with the SECR one then. Sadly, the C-Class looks a bit strange, because it's the only one not in an SECR livery, but oh well, hopefully that won't matter too much. Right, will the Gauge Master controller have enough power to run all 3? Let's find out. Yes, that's the answer to that. Fine, although it's struggling a bit backwards. No, we're all right. Well, that's good. Oh, hang on, we've got a problem, I think. Yeah, we have got a problem. This is running in the opposite direction. So that is not going to be able to feature, I'm afraid. So what I'll do is, so well, I think the most likely explanation is that I wired it up backwards, which is naughty, shouldn't have done that. But it's possible also that the cheap Chinese motor that I bought might have been the opposite polarity or something like that. It certainly wasn't an official replacement, so yes. Right. Here's a similar one for you then. I'm sorry to do that, but yep, you wanted a triple header and I don't want to disappoint you, so we'll put the M7 on. There we are. See if this will work. Let's hope they all go in the same direction. Yep, they are. There we go. Okay, just shove those out of the way then. Sorry about that. Not a lot I can do. I certainly don't want to sit and rewire it on stream. That would not be interesting at all to watch, I don't think. Okay, so what else do we need? So the rest of it is all going to be Southern coaches, so we can rip all these off, I reckon. So there we are. Goodbye. What's your name? McMullen. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's put that to one side then. Shouldn't really have started with the inside line. That was a bit foolish, wasn't it? Because I'm going to end up knocking things off. But I'll try not to. Yeah, let's do the smart thing and take off the inside line stuff to begin with, just because it's going to be quicker that way. So there we are. Be careful with these fragile Bachmann engines. I might even, yeah, I'm going to put these somewhere where I can't possibly stand on them because, yeah, there's a lot of die cast on them and it would frankly hurt me if I stood on one. And yes, that's the worst of standing on Bachmann models. Not the fact that you'd lose the model, of course. No, I'm kidding. No, actually those are decent, those two. And yeah, I do quite like the G2A. Particularly, she's a very lovely model. I do like that one. So yes, what I'm saying is I don't want to stand on them. That's basically a very convoluted way of saying that. Right, jump these models off. Blimey, I've gone a bit overkill, haven't I, with some of the rolling stock. Put that toad out of the way as well, because that's quite a fragile one. That doesn't want to get stomped on. Okay. So, what shall we put on which line? We need Canadian Pacific coming out, which I will certainly do. And then what was the other one? I'll tell you what, I've got memory like a sieve. Yeah, the Class 31. So which Class 31 shall we go with? Tell you what, we'll try a brand that I don't often show. Let's see if I can find my Airfix Class 31s. So not many people realise that Airfix made Class 31s, or any steam loco, or not steam locos, any model locos at all. Of course they're much better known really for their kits and things, but no, they did in fact produce a range of 00 gauge models quite a while ago. It's not, you haven't missed anything recent. I don't know where I've got them, goodness knows where I've put them, so I might not be able to show them if I can't find them, which wouldn't be good. Yeah, I've got them here somewhere. I might have to just spend 20 minutes looking for them first, that's all. But yeah, I've got two of them. I bought, I think they are different running numbers, but yeah, I bought two of them from the same seller once, many years ago, because I thought, what? They can't be Airfix. Airfix don't make trains. And I didn't know any better at the time. Right, I'm struggling here. I don't know for the life of me where I put them. Oh yes, I do. There's one. I missed it the first time. I had to make a second pass. So, they run on motors quite similar to the XO4 motors that Triang use. In fact, they're remarkably similar. Quite similar as well to the Triang diesel motor bogies as well. Quite similar. And there we go. As you can see, runs quite nicely. Quite quietly. Thing is, they don't run very often at all. I very rarely run them. And so I don't really, I do service them every year, but I don't sort of strip them apart. I just give them a blob of oil on the armature, clean the wheels, and that's that really. I will show you something quite interesting with them though, because the way they work is particularly cheap and nasty, but effective. So I don't know whether it's a good thing or not, but let me show you. So you might not see this too well. In fact, let's go the whole hog, and I'll show you up close. So. This is interesting. This is not the way that most of the Hornby engines work. So here we have the non-driven bogie, right? So that looks pretty standard, right? It's got just the normal metal wheels on it, and these all pick up, I think. So you've got one rail picking up from those wheels, the other rail picking up from those, and that's not how most of the Hornby ones work. Normally one bogie picks up from the left rail and the other bogie picks up from the right. But the other bogie on this one, look at that. So first of all, dummy wheels in the middle, which I always found particularly cheap and nasty, and then sort of plastic wheels, which are sort of almost, I don't know, almost rubberized really, which is really strange. It gives great traction, and yeah, two driven axles there, and you've got the motor sort of just above there. So yeah, quite a strange arrangement really, and as you can see, it looks reasonably convincing from the outside. You perhaps wouldn't realise that it was missing a wheel. But yeah, unusual, and yeah, these are the only Airfix diesels I've got. But as you saw just then, and as you're going to see when it runs, it's a decent performer. And they're also quite powerful as well. I seem to recall, they're pretty powerful. Right, move these forwards. So I've got my 3 Southern coaches here on Neil's idea of a, what did he say, a heritage railway style. So yeah, we'll certainly do that. There we go. never hauled these coaches before, that's for sure. This Class 31, never. There we are. Let's see if it can. Should do. As I say, it's got a decent amount of power to it. There we are. And then for my mod Marcus, who I do always appreciate, bless his cotton socks, we will get good old Canadian Pacific, who hasn't been as popular during this series of streams, but I still love her to bits, obviously. I hope she hasn't heard any of the nasty things I've been saying about her, about the C1 Atlantic being my new favourite. Hopefully she hasn't heard anything about that. If I put her on the track and she refuses to run, I suppose that means she has heard, but we'll see, we'll see. Okay, so on the track she goes, very nice. This loco, I tell you, has never given me any trouble at all. It's been lovely. Which is a very sort of dodgy thing to say before you're expecting her to run live on the internet, so we'll see. I thought nothing was going to happen then. I thought irony strikes again, but no, we're good. Yeah, she's working well. She's working well. Of course, she's a favourite, so she does get a full service when her turn comes along. In fact, most engines do. It's only the ones that I really don't run very often that I just do a quick clean and quick oil. Yeah, with locos like her, and I've been doing this for the past few days, which is why I bring it up. Yeah, she gets a complete disassembly. The wheels come out, the motor comes off, all the gears get a good cleaning down, get all the old lubricant off. And it's a bit overkill, but it just means that, you know, due to the way I run the channel and things, it means that I can, at any point, any time of the year, I can come up the loft, grab a loco, put it on the track for a video, and know that it's going to work 100%. Obviously, my life would be a misery if I put a loco down onto the track, ready to run it for a video, and I find that it needs a service, or that the motor's busted and it won't work. So, yeah, it's worth it for me to be a bit overkill on the servicing. But as you can see from these streams, I've very rarely, apart from that H-Class, which is not so good, yeah, I very rarely put an engine down and it not work. Which is good, it's exactly what you want. Oh, look at that. Together at last. Although perhaps not, Merchant Navy's gone quite a way ahead there. Let's have a look. There we go. Yep, leaving the Class 31 in her dust, isn't she? Never mind. So there we go. Thank you very much for those requests. I think there were one or two more still left to do, but I will save those for next week. But rest assured, I will get them done. I certainly won't forget. I never do. Sam never forgets, which is quite a oddly creepy thing to say, isn't it? There we go. Look at her go. You can see why I love that one, can't you? And Neil's Class 31 on its heritage run, working very well as always. I bet did people even realise I'd got that? I run it so infrequently. I bet most people didn't realise that. So yeah, that's good. I'm glad I remembered that one. I'm glad I got it to run. Very nice. Look at it go. It's quiet as well. Like I say, it's got a Triang style motor in it, but it certainly doesn't sound like a Triang. It runs beautifully. Not that Triang locos don't run beautifully, but quietly is what I meant. It runs quietly. The triple header there seems to work very nicely as well. Let's take a few looks at that, shall we? Look at that tunnel. Should I leave it there? What do you reckon? I'm not sure whether I should. It lowers the tone of the layout even more than I thought was possible. Crikey. Or does it? I don't know. Perhaps it doesn't. It certainly doesn't raise the tone though, does it? Not that anything could, short of baseboards and proper track. Oh dear. Right, let's have another lap, shall we? I'm enjoying this. Make sure every one of these engines gets a good look in, rather. There we go. So that's lovely. It's a shame about the H-Class. I'll probably just leave it now, though. I'll probably leave it until the Chinese motor fails, which I think it will. And then I'll have to pay particular attention to the polarity when I replace it with the proper Hornby motor that they give to me, so that I can double head it. But you naughty lot, you're going to have to remember now, don't everybody start requesting a double header with the H-Class, because it's going to end in tears, unless we somehow find another engine by chance that I've managed to miswire up. But generally speaking, I don't do a lot of double heading, so it's not something I consider all the time. Which I probably should, but to me, if an engine works, that's the main thing. The polarity, the way it's wired up, is minor. You know, you can change that anytime. I'm more concerned about just how well they run, to be honest. But no, I agree, it is important. It certainly is. Right, well that's good. So before that triple header has a horrible accident and derails, I'm going to get that one stopped. There we go. I keep laughing at the sight of that tunnel. That's brilliant. But as I say, if you've got a kid, or if you are a kid, or if you have tendencies of a kid like I do, it might be worth picking one up. You know, it's fun to have tunnels. Tunnels are fun. And of course, if you need a sort of tunnel entrance for your layout, for your serious layout, and you don't mind doing a bit of modification and a little bit of work, it might be useful. I don't know. I suppose it all depends on the specific circumstances, doesn't it? But it's worth knowing about, even if you never bother with it. And of course that LED tape is great. It's good and cheap. And it's nice and slim as well. It's not that big fat stuff with the waterproofing on it, so you can really cram it into anything you like. So there we go. 3 more requests done, and thank you very much to everyone who has sent a request today. I believe there might have been 1 or 2 more. I will get to those first thing next week, and it gives us something fun to do when I open the next stream, so that should be good. Alright, so let us go through and thank everybody from today. Massive thank you for all the support. As I say, it's very, very good of you to keep coming back and supporting the channel the way you do. I love it, I do. I love these streams. Right, let's do it. I always have to, because you just get a big list of them basically. It doesn't split them up into streams, so I have to always find the start. We're still on last week. Okay, there we go. So thank you to all these folks who are of course entered for the Drummond 700 class. So Shining Time 4, AZ Rail, Dancing Turtle 96, Lee Cohen, William Town, Paul S, Techno Andrew. There we go. I don't know why I keep laughing at that. There's nothing that funny about it. Mayo Hoskos, Lego with Spider-Man and Elsa 2, Neil Golding again, Me On, The Ugly Duck Man, Connolly 500 The Fox, Bearded Frodo. Did I do yours? Maybe we've come past the ones that I've already done. I want to, yeah, no, that was the next one, that's all right. I'm just making sure I don't want to miss any, but I go through them afterwards and double check, make a list. SMT Mainline, Connolly 500 The Fox, again, Train Fan 25 Stewart, Cultured Terraria, there we go, it's another tricky one. I sometimes think people create accounts with confusing names just to get me, but no, it's a challenge, it keeps me on my toes, I appreciate that. Lee Cohen again, Colin Wykes, Charles Curtis, and finally Rob Arnold, and I think that was it. Let me just double check, refresh, I don't think it did refresh last time. Come on. Yeah, this computer goes like a snail while I'm trying to live stream because it's a bit old. I'm replacing this, so August the 18th, you'll have to wave goodbye. Let me see, get it in. You'll have to wave goodbye to this machine because I'm going to be replacing my main machine downstairs, and this one is going to go for Railmaster. So, you see that computer over there in the background? Let's see. I don't know why I'm suddenly talking about computers. This one here is what I use to run Railmaster, and it's a bit old and it's a bit slow, and I think it's part of the reason why Railmaster is so glitchy actually. So yeah, this one that I'm running the stream on right now is going to go for Railmaster, and yeah, I don't know what will happen to that old one, but probably pretty, we'll put it that way. I'm sure you can guess what it might involve, but we'll see what can be salvaged from it first. I might keep the power supply because I use computer power supplies to run all the lights in this room. And they do have a habit of failing, so maybe I'll keep that. Anyway, enough rambling about that. Thank you all very, very much for watching. If you want a goodbye shout out, let me know. I will do some of those right now. You got a Highland Rambler, says Dr. Skull. Is that a Hornby train set? I don't think so, but I've probably got some of the components from it. I recently went to a train fair and bought quite a lot of rolling stock from train sets and things. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I've got a video of that coming up pretty soon. I won't give anything of that away. Does anyone have a Flying Scotsman, Blue Wolf 360 memes? I think a lot of people do. Let us know in the chat if you've got a Flying Scotsman. I've got a couple of them. I quite like the old Triang ones actually. I've got quite a few of those. Sam, how's your day? Adam Rushton, it's very good, thank you. It's nice and cool up here, good friends on the chat. Lots of models to run. Yeah, so I'm good. I'm happy. I'm having a good time. Piggy Nice 06 says, please shout out. Could you do me? Says Daily Dose of Death. Odd wording there, but I'll give you a shout out if that's what you mean. Do you have a 33? I think I do. Do I? You guys know better than I do. Do I have a 33, folks? I forget. I think so. Do I? Maybe not. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. But can I have a shout out? Says Juiceman's Train Zone. Yes, you can. Juiceman's Train Zone. Thank you for dropping in. Angela Kogut says, bye Sam, can we get one more whoa to finish the stream? Do you mean it worked earlier? Did the whoa work? Well, we can have it. Hey, there we go. Maybe it did work earlier then. Don't know. Let's shut that off. There we go. I don't want it to keep doing it. Dr. Skull in capital letters says goodbye. So that's a very overemphasized goodbye, but thank you for that. Mion says goodbye. Bye Sam says Robo Robin. I love that username. That's cool. Robo Robin. Goodbye, shout out please, says Mike Paxton. My chat has gone bizarre. It's jumping up as well as down. That's strange. Thanks for the shout out, says Piggy06, Piggy Nice06, no problem. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Class 35, hi mech. Yeah, I've got one of those. Does a Class 33... Oh, Phil Jackson, a Class 33/0, Class 33/1, or a Class 33/2? That is the question. You know, I don't think I do have a Class 33 thinking about it. Class 31, yes, but I'm not sure about Class 33. Thank you for coming, Adam. Thank you. The stream was a pleasure. I love doing them. Bye, Robo Robin. Salty Boys, Trains, Vlogs and more. Sam, there you go. Give you a shout out if that's what you wanted. Harry Studio Productions, there you go. Glad I caught you. Blue Wolf 360 Memes. Bye to you too. The Ballast Man. Yes, you have joined at the wrong time, but you just got in there with a shout out. It's all available to watch afterwards if you want to recap some of the fun. Au revoir, Neil Golding. Will Hornby produce a new Saint Lady of Legend? I bet they will. I bet they will. Either they or Bachman will. But yeah, I'm sure that'll be on their announcement list soon. Although I could be wrong. Who knows really? Thanks for getting me back into the hobby, says Eben NG. Well, that's my pleasure. That's the least I can do. I mean, I hope you enjoy yourself, and I'm glad that you've got back into one of the best hobbies there is, I would say. Bye bye, PRR Class S2. Can I have a shout out? Said the Brothers Fun. Yes, you can. The Brothers Fun. Scary thumbnail picture though. That's a scary one. Oh, that was frightening. Mayo Hosco, there you go. You got in there at the last second. That is bizarre though, because it didn't pop up in the chat. So I wonder whether that was from earlier. Oh no, it is. I faked my knee injury. Love your stream, Sam. What knee injury? I didn't know. Maybe you told me about a knee injury in the past and I've forgotten. I don't know. Toby Cohen, hey. PR Class S2, bye bye. Ethan Schmid, hey Sam. I like your art, The Ugly Duck Man. That must have taken a while. Although I'm guessing you might have pasted that from somewhere. Or maybe I'm not giving you enough credit for that. I don't know. Vauxhall Ben, bye to you too. Kate Christman, I think, is that right? Bye, give me a shout out, there you go. Toby Cowan again, can I have a shout out? Love your vids and thanks for getting me into model railway building, says Salty Boys, Trains, Vlogs and more. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. I've really enjoyed that one. Great variety of different things to run, great photos to show, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Thank you once again for the support. Have a great week. Next week I have a running session coming up and also a diesel review. For the time being, catch you on the 18th of August for the final stream of the series. Don't miss it. It's going to be, well, I don't know how grand a finale, but it is going to be a finale, put it that way. Right, thanks for watching, folks. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very soon. All right, cheers, everybody. Hey folks, thank you all very, very much for joining me for yet another stream. I hope you enjoyed that one. This series is going to be on all sorts of different Sundays over the summer, so do keep a close eye on my social media and my YouTube channel for the date of the next stream. But for now, thank you all for watching once again. Have a great week, and I will talk to you all very soon. Cheers, everybody.